Welcome to the Medium in the Middle podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie, the medium in the middle. On this podcast, I share my journey as a developing psychic medium, as a Reiki master teacher, as an Akashic record practitioner, and anything else that's thrown my way. Hello, Middlers. Welcome to episode 185. My name is Stephanie. I am the medium in the middle. And today I have kind of a fun story, a mediumship story. I went to a mediumship reading and I didn't think about how hard it would be to shut my mediumship brain off. I am the queen of boundaries, you know that, and I was setting my intentions and telling spirit they couldn't come through, but they happily ignored me. So I just thought this would be a fun story to share with you here on the podcast. I feel like I have so many chit-chatty things to talk about, but I also feel like each one of those things could be their own episode, so I'll save it. I'll save them for later, but I cannot believe it is the end of August. Where did summer go? Holy moly. So just a few announcements going into the fall. We have Reiki Level 1 coming up September 30th and October 1st. If you have been waiting to learn Reiki, the fall is a beautiful time to learn. There's not very many spots left in that course, but there's still a chance to get in, start thinking about once the kids are back in school, what do you want to be doing with your time? And the workshop for the 2024 business planning is in October. That will be out this week, so just keep an eye. If you don't already follow me at Medium in the Middle on Instagram, that's where I keep everything as up to date. Just a reminder, I only have one Instagram account. There are a lot of scammers. I will never DM you. I'll never ask you for money. I'll never ask you to send me money. I'll never say you were chosen. I'll never say I was drawn to you. No spiritual business will ever do that. We all have websites that we pay lots of money for. They have a book now button, and that's where everything is done. So just a reminder. Let's pull a card for this week. I was feeling, summertime, fresh, fun energy. So I decided to pull from the Rebecca Campbell deck, the Work Your Light deck. And I always love that the card pull perfectly goes with what I'm talking about in the podcast. It's like we set intentions or something. But I pulled the card Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, Helpers in the Subtle Realms. The Council of Light is a team of beings who are here to assist the rising of consciousness of the planet. They are here to help you achieve your soul mission and are guiding you every step of the way. However, we live in a world where free will reigns. They cannot help you without your permission. If you would like their assistance, it's time to ask them. They can help with all kinds of requests. Nothing is too big or small. Think of them as your personal team of helpers in the spirit realm. They are willing and ready to step in and get to work. What would you like help with? What tasks would you like to delegate to them? The Council of Light is a team of ascended masters, light being, angels, and guides devoted to the rising of Earth and all humanity. If you're a light worker, it is from them that you receive your personal mission. Like a spirit world, United Nations, they want to thank you so much for doing this work and devoting your life to uplifting the planet. Pray to them for clarity and guidance regarding your personal mission. Put in your request and let them get to work. Oh, interesting. I thought the Council of Light card was something else. But still, I guess this is what we needed to hear. Divine Orchestration, Helpers in the Subtle Realms. Interesting. I also started posting the card on Instagram, so if you do want to see it, I will make it a post just so you can go back and see the card whenever you're listening to this episode. It'll be on Instagram for you. So like all good stories, I'll start from the very beginning. So a few months ago, a medium named Bree, she's been on the podcast before. You've probably heard her. If you don't follow her already, she is an amazing medium. If you have DM'd me for a mediumship reading, I have always sent you to her or referred you to her. She's a fellow Canadian, and we met a few years ago, and we've done group readings together online via Zoom. We've done them in person. She's been on my podcast. We've just become friends. Anyways, she was coming to Calgary to do a few events, and she reached out to me and she asked if I wanted to do a mediumship reading with her. Now, I haven't done a group mediumship reading since actually Mediums in the Mountains, which was over a year ago now. And the date that she gave me happened to fall on one of my 2 days off in August. So if you've been here for a while, you've known that starting in August, I started to take 2 days off every other week. And this year, one of my goals is to work less and make more money, but work less. So I literally had 2 days off twice in August, and that was my only weekends of the summer. And the date that she asked me to do this event on was on one of those weekends. And I said, I would be tempted to do an event with you because obviously it's fun. But I was like, that's literally my second weekend off of the entire summer. And I just need to protect this. And I think this is a test from the universe, seeing if I will work on my holy days off. So I said, I won't work, but I will attend because I want to support you. And I just had a friend who her dad passed away. So I bought 2 tickets for me and my friend to go and attend the event. Now, in my mind, I wasn't worried about messages coming to me, but I knew I would have to set boundaries. I knew I would have to be clear. I knew that I would have to not connect. And I actually didn't really think much of it. When I was driving there, I was kind of thinking what did I get myself into? So me and my friend decided to go, and for the entire week before, I was telling my spirits that they cannot come through, and I was just calling in my friend's dad. It's I want him to come through. He had just passed away. I know Bree's good at getting souls that had recently passed, and just calling in the intention that he comes in first. We wanted him to come in first. So when I was getting ready for the event, before I left Banff, because it's an 1.5-hour drive away, I felt like I was going to work. Spirit started to show up. I started to get names. I started to get impressions. And I was like, oh no, body, we're not doing this. I'm not sweating today like I do. I got the name Rudy or Judy, and I was like, oh no. And I was like, I think actually that's my friend's grandpa. I was like, I think we're in the clear. I think I'm just sensing her energy. So anyways, I go to pick her up, and I was like, I'm already sensing spirit. And I was like, your grandpa's here, but I'm calling in your dad first. And she opens the door. She's like, so am I. He's coming in first. I know it. She's like, I just called my sister. She's like, I told him he's coming in first. He's booting to the front of the line. And we were like, yes, he's coming in first. So we go to the event, and I'm setting my boundaries, and I'm telling Spirit no, and I'm raking the room before I get there and doing all the things I always do. And we arrive and say hi to everybody and sit down. And Bree says her little speech and talks about how she got into mediumship, which is always interesting. Even though I've heard the story before, I just like to hear how other people got into it. And then she opened up to the room and she said, this actually has only happened once before, but I dreamt that I was reading someone last night in my dream. And she's like, I just have to start with this in case it's someone's here, but I have someone's dad. And I already had my phone out in my hand ready to press record because we knew her dad was going to be first. So as soon as she said the word dad, I pressed the button to record. I put it on the table. I looked at my friend, and we both knew. And Bree did an amazing reading for her. And if you listen to the recording, it's really funny because there's me whispering oh yeah, that's about your brother. Oh yeah, that's this. Oh yeah, that's this. As if she didn't know what all these messages were about. But it was just such a nice experience to sit beside someone who was receiving that information. Now, I know I say this a lot, but again, when it happens to you, you're reminded of it. So I always tell people when I'm helping them with their mediumship how hard it is to be a sitter. And especially in a group reading, I just feel like you're waiting on the edge of your seat to see if it's for you, to see if you're next, to see if it's your loved one. And that's how I felt before her dad came through. I was just like, is he going to be first? Is he coming? What's he going to say? How are we going to know it's him? And, on the way there, it's like, what do you want your dad to talk about? How are you going to know it's him? What do you want him to say? What do you want him to reference? So we already had everything ready to go. But I was just as soon as she said dad, it was the anxiety went away. And I was like, oh yes, Like, everything is fine. He's here now. Like, I can relax. Oh, so I thought. So then she went on to reading the next person, and it was like Bree was in my mind. I would think something, and then she would say it. And then I would think something, and then she would say it. And I was like, oh no, I'm channeling. I was like, we're getting the same information. And it was actually really, really cool because for me, I got a ton of confirmation and validation because I would think something in my head, she would say it, the person would confirm. I would think something in my head, she would say it, the person would confirm. But I was so jittery. I was putting my shoes on and off. I was bouncing my knee. I was sweating. I was like, I need to stop. I need to stop. And then it was only the second person that she was reading. They were talking about how her mom has passed, but they were talking about dad and they need to care about his heart. And I just kept hearing he's not taking his medication. He's not taking his medication. He's not taking his medication. And I was waiting for Bree to say it. And I was waiting for Bree to say it, and she didn't say it. And she was just kind of talking about how they need to pay attention to him and they need to not ignore certain things. And I just kept hearing in my head, he's not taking his medication. He's not taking his medication. And I was like, Bree, I'm sorry to interrupt you. And I felt like Kanye doing this to Taylor Swift. Like, I'm going to let you finish, but... And I was like, he's not taking his medication. Your mom's yelling in my ear. He's not taking his medication. There's a small white pill for blood or something like that, but he's not taking it. Or he's taking it like every other day or every third day. It's inconsistent and it's going to cause problems. Someone needs to be on him. Like if he's supposed to be taking his medicine at 4 p.m., like someone needs to be calling him at 4 p.m. and being like, Dad, take the pill. Like this is like a non-negotiable. Like this is going to really mess it up. And then they swore. I said the F word. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but this is so serious. And she was like, no, like, it's totally fine. Like, she's like, the more the merrier. And we, got the message across and they're like, we know. They're like, we've been having problems and no. And I was like, oh, like, I'm so sorry. I just had to burst and say it. So then I like piped down and I was like, Steph, like, that was so rude. You're at Bree's event. I can't believe you did that. Like, where are your boundaries? Where is your respect for her? Where is your respect for everybody? Like, just stop. Like, stop. So I tried to really pull it back after that. I was like, oh my gosh, I felt so bad for interrupting her. We talked about it later. She loved it. She was like, oh my God, it was totally fine. Like, the more the merrier. Like, I told you should be here doing this with me. And I was like, I know, but I didn't want to be channeling. But the whole time I just sat there channeling. So anyways, we moved past that. Then she's talking to the next person. And I don't know if anyone was looking at me, it would have been hilarious because she would say something and then I'm nodding my head yes. And then I'm looking at the person. I was like, yes. And then there was one time where they were making a Shania Twain reference, and I was like, talk about the Shania Twain concert. Talk about the Shania Twain concert. And then Brie was like, I'm getting something about Shania Twain. And I was like, yes! And I looked at them, and I was nodding, like, so hard. And then she's like, I don't know who this man is there. I'm like, it's the dad. It's the dad. In my mind, I'm like, it's the dad. I'm like, trying to telepathically tell Brie. I'm like, it's the dad. And she's like, oh, I think it's the dad. And I was like, yes, Brie, yes! But it literally felt like we were sharing a brain. Like, it was so weird. Or like in reality what we were doing is we were talking to the same person and we could just hear them saying different things. So same thing, when she said something else, I was like, oh, how'd she get that information? Like, I didn't get that. And we get very different information, which is interesting to always watch like someone else who does what you do in a different way. So it was really, really nice to watch. But by the end, I was sweating. I felt like I worked. And it was a really interesting experience for me. I think I needed that validation for mediumship. I was like, I still got it. And I think I needed to watch someone else work. I think I needed to be inspired. Every time something like this happens, I always think like, I want to go back to mediumship. So I think there's a lot of lessons there for me. Some big conversations were had, and I'll make future podcast episodes about that. But afterwards, we went for lunch, and it was really nice to spend time with Bree and her girlfriend and my friend, and it was just such good time, such good people, such good conversations. So we had a great time. If you were at the reading, shout out to you because it was such a good time. Anyways, I had to share that story on here. I have so many good boundaries, and then I just broke them all. Just let spirit come in. And it was fun. And I love group readings. I'll always love group readings. They're so powerful, they're so healing, and just like being in the room and seeing other people experience the connection with their loved ones is so nice. And just to kind of confirm what a group reading is, it's just a bunch of people in one room and Bree reads the room. So if someone comes in, a spirit, then someone claims it, they'll talk to them for a little bit, see the next spirit to come through. Bree does it differently than when I do it. So I kind of just talk to whoever comes up. I imagine they stand in a line and I talk to one person at a time. Bree does that for the first half of it, and then she asks people, is there anyone that you want to talk to? And she allows the audience to volunteer. So I think it's a good mix of, like, she likes to say who's the loudest at the party that greets you at the door, and also who are the important people that maybe don't speak up or maybe don't stand at the front of the line or jump in first to make sure that their messages are heard. So a fun little mediumship day that I wanted to share with all of you. I will leave all the links you need down below in the show notes. Again, at Medium in the Middle on Instagram if you wanted to follow me. That's the Banff train in the background if you can hear it. But until next Wednesday, Middlers, when I see you in your ears, I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye, everybody.